Hello, everyone, and welcome to Soul Stained Ink. My name is Beth, and I am here today with a hopefully quick update on my graduate courses. Alright, guys, as you probably know, if you've watched any of my recent videos, I am taking 3 graduate courses, and we are at the beginning of week 3. So I thought I'd catch you up on what happened last week. In my Black Lives Matter mixtape class, we read Native Son by Richard Wright, which I did not get along with at all. I will be doing some separate review videos for these, but if you have read anything that I mentioned, please feel free to comment down below and let you know what you thought about it. Even if you disagree with me, I would love to hear your opinions. But Native Son and I did not get along at all. I'll talk about that more in the review. We'll just move on. This week we are reading Richard Wright's memoirs, which are entitled Black Boy, and I'm over halfway finished with them, and I'm going to try to complete them very, very quickly because in a different class we are reading a book that I really want to read, and I already know I enjoy, so I am kind of holding that as bait, like, get done with this one and do your work and you can read the book you love. Yeah, it's like a cookie, but in ink. Yes. Anyway, so far I am enjoying Black Boy much more than I enjoyed Native Son. I can definitely understand from his point of view, like the things that were happening in his life, and it kind of is helping me understand more about some of the things that happened in Native Son, although not enough to make me want to recommend that anyone actually read Native Son. So there's that. Yeah. All right, moving on to my next course, which is Medieval and Early Modern Fantasy. Last week we finished reading The Lays of Marie de France, and I will do a review video for those as well. But basically, I felt like I'd heard all of these stories before, and I'm pretty sure that I have read them. I had a medieval lit course, 20 years ago in college, and I don't think we read Marie de France, but we did read several of the classic lays that were written from the oral tradition, and that's basically what happened. She knew how to read and write, and she wrote them down in a very accessible French language so that anybody who learned how to read at that point in time would be able to pass these around. So basically nobility, but some of the higher level servants could read as well. We don't know where she was from for sure. We think France. We think she might have been a nun, and also that she was part of the aristocracy. That's basically it. But I will, again, talk to you more about those in the review I do. This week, we are reading Beowulf, which is the carrot on the end of the stick for me to finish reading Black Boy. Basically, I've read Beowulf, as I mentioned in my previous video, about 8 times, possibly more, but at least 8, in 4 or 5 different translations. And my favorite translation is Tolkien's. And Scribd has Tolkien's translation of Beowulf as an audiobook. So that is the translation that I'm going to use. Now, we do have suggested translations, so I will also go and read the other suggested translation that they sent. However, Tolkien is always going to be my first choice, and I'm going to listen to that when I get done reading Black Boy. I am very excited about it. I also have to write a little short paper. Let's see if I can remember. I have to look at my notebook to remember as I read off the page what she said. It's a brief analysis, 500 to 600 words. Make it punchy. That's what she put, make it punchy in the syllabus. And it is called Beyond Monsters and Dragons, So basically, I need to write about a 600-word essay talking about the monsters and dragons and things from medieval literature and how they have been brought into culture and through culture, which I'm really looking forward to. Um, but that also brings us to my final class, which is British comic novel. Now, I've mentioned that the first 4 weeks of this class are set aside for us to read P.G. Wodehouse, The Code of the Woosters. I have listened to it, as I said previously. I listened to the 2-hour radio version with full cast that is on Scribd. I believe it was on Scribd. Absolutely adored it. But I did that as I was waiting on the audiobook to become available from Overdrive, which I've been listening to, and I'm loving it just as much. And I want to show you my notes right there. I don't know if you can see it very well, but the very first thing I wrote was shenanigans. My favorite thing about this, and the reason I'm going to continue reading Wodehouse and probably go back and start this Jeeves, I don't even know what it's called, Wooster and Jeeves maybe. I'm going to go back and start at the beginning of the series because Code of the Woosters is number 5, I believe. But the reason I'm loving it so much is that it's got this dry, quick wit and this fast banter. And then all of a sudden there's like a pratfall written in, and it shouldn't work in written literature. But he just does it so well, and it just keeps moving, and it's hilarious. And I love it. It's great. Another thing I'm very, very excited for with this class is actually a research project that he re-announced today. It's in the syllabus, but he re-announced today. We have 2 weeks to give him our topics for it. But basically, this course is British comic novels. So we need to start looking at British and Irish comedy starting at about 1900 and moving forward. And in that 120 years of British or Irish comedy, come up with a topic that we want to research and do a creative presentation over. And I had a few ideas because honestly, I could do a 15-minute presentation over the cultural and social significance of Monty Python and the Flying Circus, and even just one skit like I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I could do 15 minutes on the social and cultural significance of the lumberjack song like that. However, I think I'm going to go, and I reserve the right to change my mind later, but I think I'm actually going to go with something like Irish humor in heavy times. And instead of doing one author, one book series, one television series, because you can choose from any like cultural humor, comedians, television shows, movies, authors, book series, etc. I think I am going to take like Tana French and what is her name? I have looked it up 3 times. I have a book I'm going to read by her. Marian Keyes. So Tana French and Marian Keyes are both authors. And then I'm going to rewatch The Dairy Girls because I love The Dairy Girls show. It's hilarious and irreverent and also has a lot of hard-hitting information in it. And then I'm also going to look up David Nihill, who is an Irish comedian, and I bet his name is Nihil, but that's all right. So I'm going to watch some of his stuff and research him, as well as reread the First in the Dublin Murder Squad books and kind of research Tana French, and that possibly watch the show as well if I can find it. Then I'm going to read a book by Marian Keyes, which is set in the same time period, Northern Ireland, early 90s, as the Dairy Girls show is set. I'm going to rewatch that and then hopefully come up with a super awesome presentation, and you can do it in any form that you can put online. So I think I'm going to make a YouTube video like this, only hopefully better with like editing and stuff. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully I can do that really well. If you have any suggestions for that, If you have any comments, questions, concerns, you want to chat about your graduate program that you are going through, want to go through, or went through in the past, anything, go ahead and come down in the comment section below. I'd be happy to talk to you guys. I will do my best to get those book reviews up soon. And until next time, I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Stay safe, guys. Bye.